think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the looks
That
that
drives the girls while I
drive
move. Yo, hey, what's up? Wasn't intentional whatsoever for me to hit record and then sing the intro for Shawn Michaels' theme. Sherry, I would understand. Rest her soul. Anywho, I'm the Dad Panther variety streamer, content creator, master of none. This is the Critics Collective, and no, you're not on a new channel or page. We're talking wrestling. All right, now I don't want to hit you with the three count, but what I will tell you is hit the subscribe button, like, follow for more. 3 minutes is all we ask. Let us know in the comments what we should be watching or what you're watching. We'd greatly appreciate that. Now today we're going to tackle the Shawn Michaels story, Heartbreak and Triumph. Now, for this, probably the best way to sum this up if you're not a wrestling fan is how are you not a wrestling fan? That's the biggest question there. Now, my two favorite is Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. It's not you can't just you can't mention one without mentioning the other. First or second, flip a coin, get destroyed. They're both some of the best wrestlers that we've ever seen in decades, and that's just my opinion. And yes, there's some new guys out there doing it, some new gals out there doing it, but I'm just saying those are the two that do it for me respectfully. Now, before we get into the highs and lows, I'm going to hit you with my first impressions. And before we get into that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, nope, I was going to read the synopsis. It wouldn't make any sense because it's Shawn Michaels. I'll just take it from here. Okay. So Shawn Michaels comes out with a book. They redo a documentary. And the other one they did before, which we should have a review for, came out in 2004. Technically, it was much earlier than that as a part of a Coliseum Superstar Pack, whatever. And that was 2004 for that one. This was 2007. At this point, Sean's career, more things have happened, so you're getting a better collection. It's probably, I don't think we'll get another one unless something else happens, but we should get one more because the man just keeps doing stuff. But this is the biggest, I want to say, effort respectfully, because there's a lot of DVDs for Shawn Michaels matches and stuff like that, where this grabs a big chunk of his career. And I think it does it in a tasteful way. If there's anything, if you've never watched Shawn Michaels, you're younger, or maybe it was a time before your time, then you would go ahead and check out this one if you want to dabble with the Shawn Michaels. But understand, once you start and that sweet chin music hits you right there on your chin, one, two, three, you're looking up at the lights, you're like, what the fuck just happened? And it just heartbreaks everywhere. Now, my first impression of this was Shawn Michaels. I'm a full grown adult right now, and okay, I'm watching it. Shawn Michaels. I was there at WrestleMania. Was it no Royal Rumble 30 in Miami, Florida? I think Ray won the champion, or not the championship. I think he won the Royal Rumble that year. Can't remember. I need to go back and check that, but I was there in the stands watching that one. Now, I have seen Shawn wrestle live a handful of times and so many others, but for this one, honestly, it just like I said, my first impression was I'm a Shawn Michaels fan. So let's do it. I thought it was just going to be repackaged. I didn't know the direction we're going to go with this. Now I'll go with my highs and lows. The lows, there's no update in it. I don't even know what you would say. You would redo it, and then you would just say extended, or I don't know what you would say, Still Breaking Hearts edition, and you'll put where he's at now. Um, that's really it. Other than that, I thought it was done way better than the other one. I'll go into the pros in it. The first one was the production. The production was clean. It was HD. Again, it wasn't a remastered, recopied, edited type of thing. It was smooth. It was clean. There was things that were kind of old in it, but it was only old because they were just that's what the footage was. As he went further in the career, you got more stuff. Now you've got way more guests coming in talking. Jim Ross, you have Triple H, you got Jericho, you had Scott Hall, King Kong Bundy, you even had Janetti. Like some of this is obviously recorded, redone, but like I said, they do a really good job of getting a lot of people out there to talk on their behalf. And the other thing that's cool is you get a lot more matches that you get a chance to hear the story behind the matches. The other thing that you're getting is where Sean is as a man during the times of maybe drug use or contemplating where he's at in his life, his love life, things like that. He ends up finding Christ, and that changed his gimmick. Where what he you saw in the Attitude Era with DX couldn't be the same thing when it was reintroduced later on. And you saw that especially when he came back. I'm trying to remember what match it was. I don't know if I think it was Unforgiven or was it SummerSlam? Might have been SummerSlam against Triple H, that no holds bar unsanctioned match, and he trusted Triple H to basically not just protect him, but to understand him and put on a hell of a match. And then after that, he gets in the elimination chamber and wins the championship. And I do have a replica of the championship belt. And if we get, I don't care what Mr. Lingo says right now, damn it. I'm calling the show. I am the whole freaking show. And I'm going to say, if we get 100 likes on this video, I'm going to buy my own replica, WWE winged eagle championship belt. Now, my wife's not going to like me buying it, but I'm going to say, I didn't buy it for me, honey. I bought it for them. They felt I deserved it. And then I'll show you guys that belt right here. I'll unbox it and I'll show it. But anyways, it goes and it talks about the infamous, uh, basically kayfabe, which I mentioned before, where he says goodbye to Scott Hall and Diesel, which Steve Nash is his name, and it's and Triple H is in there, and it talks about that. And the Triple H took some for that for years after, before he became the game in the lane and the fame. Like I could do that all day. But like I said, it just constantly goes through his career, his resurgence, and where he is. Like I said, the only thing that's really missing is some of the stuff he did later. Some of these epic matches that he did. I mean, it doesn't have that, but it does what it needs to do on all fronts, in my opinion. And with that being said, it is time to rate this. How do you rate this? How do you rate? Now, we're not rating the superstar. Okay, that's a different rating. Maybe at another time. We're just rating simply, how does this DVD hold up? Does it execute the way it needs to? And I believe it does. I honestly believe it does. I think it's something that I 100% would recommend if you are trying to figure out if you're into Shawn Michaels, because maybe you just didn't know Shawn. How do you not know Shawn Michaels is there? I don't know. Point blank, I would rate this a 5. It's a very clean documentary. There's some other documentaries from other superstars. The Rock has some. Triple H has some. There's a lot out there, but um, it could be because I'm a fan, that much of a fan, where I'm like, hey, Shawn Michaels, you couldn't tell me anything different. Now the matches, like I say, it goes pretty deep in his career, early 2000s. You're looking at the match between him and Hulk Hogan, where he was over exaggerating, going with Hulk Hogan, and you can take that for what you want. Um, like I said, I rated a 5. I'll be back doing other stuff. Let me know in the comments. When you hit the subscribe button, like, comment, stuff. Let me know in the comments who's your favorite wrestler. Is there something we should be watching? Let us know. Take 3 minutes to check us out and let us know. Could have been anywhere in the world and you chose to be here. Until next time, lick a loud.